What's good, crypto? I'm your host, Marvin, here to bring you the daily scoop on what's going on in crypto. Right now, we're at a critical point for Bitcoin. It's going to determine whether or not the rest of the macro market decides to go down, or are we going to go straight up to the moon. So we're going to talk about where we are at, what our options are, and just to give you an idea of where to kind of get your head at for what's to come. Because I'm macro bullish on Bitcoin. I think most of us are. But I, like the rest of you, want to make sure we get our best entry points for the market. So whether it's in the next couple of days or a week or whatever, that, whether we go up or down, I want you guys to remember this is a long-term picture, because, whether or not we dip or go straight up, I want you guys to consider your options and make sure you guys are getting the best entry points. And while Bitcoin decides to dance around, alts are picking up steam right now. Ethereum is looking juicy and the rest of the market is looking delicious. So let's dive into the markets. Monday through Friday, we come here to educate ourselves when it comes to investing in crypto to make life-changing wealth. None of this is financial advice, as I'm not a financial advisor, so make sure to do your own due diligence and research, and make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Media by Marvin. But let's jump on in. Looking at the total market cap, we're actually up at 2.14 trillion, which is about a 1% increase over the last day. And just looking at the total market cap, you can see that first off, Bitcoin dominance is down and we're actually up. This is pretty astounding considering what's going on. The second highest that we've been recently, since we're at 2.14, was August 24th, when Bitcoin was at $50,000, so we're just about there. So the fact that we're almost there again without Bitcoin being at 50,000 tells me that altcoins, of course, are picking up steam. And we can see that as we see Bitcoin dominance continue to fall. We trickle down. Actually, we are at 42% dominance, lower than the 43.8% we were earlier this week. So Bitcoin is starting to fall in dominance as altcoins continue to surge, and we see Ethereum crushing it at $3,541. For a while, Ethereum was just sitting at this $3,300 range, and we talked about Ethereum being in this position of this ascending triangle with this horizontal resistance above at $3,300, and it was just a matter of time. Over the last couple of weeks, we see Ethereum developing these higher lows, and you can see that people are willing to buy Ethereum at a premium, and it was just a matter of time for Ethereum to break out of this ascending channel. And if we look at the monthly, Ethereum enjoyed its highest monthly close ever. It's insane. If we look back in the month of May, we can see this major wick, and if you're listening on the podcast, it wicked up all the way up to almost $4,400, but it closed right below at 2717. This was the month of the major crash. So right as we saw Bitcoin dump, we saw Ethereum shortly after fly and then fall back down. And over the last couple of months of consolidation and accumulation, and people picking up cheap Ethereum at $1,700, like myself, I was like, hell yeah, that's wicked affordable, considering it was just at $4,400. That is more than 50% off. That's a lot off. We see that it enjoyed this major close of $3,400. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And we see it continuing to run. So I think Ethereum is in a very good position to continue to rise and bring altcoins up with it. And matter of fact, Bitcoin, I think, actually did it a favor by ending the month at a lower level, given it this opportunity. And this is what I'm trying to say, is that Bitcoin is kind of in this stagnant, boring position, right? And the fact that Ethereum was at 3,500 already, or 3,400, while it was at like 4,600, $46,000 Bitcoin, I think Ethereum only has ways to go up. And even if it dips, even if Bitcoin continues to go down a little bit more, Ethereum is still positioned in a very, very good way for the rest of the month of September. But let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and see what's going on here. As we mentioned before, there's a lot of overhead resistance for Bitcoin at this $49,000 region, 49,300. We see a lot of overhead resistance. We see that there's a lot of rejection here, and there's just been a lot of sideways action. The two numbers that we're seeing and hearing a lot from other TA, like technical analysts and other chartists, we either have to blast through all this resistance and go up to 50,000, or we're going to visit resistance down in the $42,000 region. Why? Or the $43,000 region. It's because there's a lot of resistance, or there was a lot of resistance here, and there was a lot of support before, and we see a lot of price action happening down here in the $43,000 region. So that could be a great area of support for us to go down and jump off. Now, do we see it happening? Anything is possible with Bitcoin. Be prepared if it does, and set some buy orders down there just in case. And if they don't get fulfilled, it's not the end of the world. Then that means Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. But what I think is happening is we see multiple touch points at this $46,000 region, and we see higher lows. Even though that they're small, we see higher lows taking place. The bears are trying to push down the price, but they're unsuccessful. They're unable to get down below this $46,600 region. Now, what do we need to see for bullish confirmation? I think I would want to see Bitcoin get out of this $47,000 region and close above $48,000. I think we would like to see that, because as we can see on the hourly, we see a descending channel, which typically breaks bullish. We see lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. But if we want to get out of this sort of pattern, we need to really break over 48,600, in my opinion. I think 48,200 is a good place to start, but I would like for us to kind of get over this level and break bullish. And then if we really want to make sure we're confirming that, we really want to get over 49,600, where we see the start of this descending channel. So I think we need to start making higher highs locally, and continue to develop higher lows. And we can see that we're making higher lows as we go up. But Bitcoin right now is kind of just lagging. It's doing its thing. And just be patient. Just be patient. When Bitcoin is the most boring, that's when we see it break up to the upside. So be patient. Keep your eyes on the prize. And don't be afraid to put some buy orders in around the $44,000 region. I bought in at around 46,000 just because it's just been such a major area of support recently. Now, can it break support? Yeah. And if it does break support, be ready, because it'll go down to the 43,000 probably. But then again, Bitcoin has been defying all odds. When I say maybe 43,000, I honestly think 44,000, just because you never get exactly what you want. So try to spread out your buys. I think that's super important. But right now, $46,000 has been a major area of support. We've seen it bump up from there. But I really want the bulls to step in and take price higher, just because right now it's just kind of we're teeter-tottering in this position where the bears want to push it down 43,000 to reaccumulate and buy more, and then there is so many people on the sidelines who are willing or waiting to confirm bullish action and buy at 50,000. So it's weird. We have people either waiting to buy at 43 or 50,000. You would think people want to buy at 43,000, but a lot of people are waiting for bullish confirmation at 50, and they're like, okay, you know what? We're about to start this mega move. I want to buy in at 50,000 and just start from there. So people are kind of waiting to see if they can get a better entry point or not. So it's really, really interesting price psychology that's going on with Bitcoin. Again, it's been teeter-tottering recently. It's kind of been doing nothing. I really want to see the bulls step in and get out of this $48,000 region. I would really like to see us over 48,600 by the end of the day if that's possible. But it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin will do what it wants. Bitcoin could decide today that it wants to go to 50,000 for all we know. But we'll wait and see. Other than that, Ethereum crushing it. Love seeing it at 35,000. I want to see that. Cardano at 284, up a percent basically on the day. On the week, up about 5%. Doing amazing. Binance Coin climbing up at 3%, getting closer to the $500 mark. 482. XRP at $1.21, so up almost 6% on the day and almost 5% on the week. Dogecoin is just being Dogecoin. Solana was killing it, so it did hit $130 when I made the last episode on Solana, and it did a small pullback at 118. I think it actually dipped down to like 108. So if you're able to scoop up some Solana, good for you. I'm personally not buying any more Solana just because I'm happy with my bag of Solana, and I'm just gonna let it ride it out, take profits on the way up. Polkadot doing fantastic. Uniswap was just at $30. Chainlink and Uniswap almost 5% up on the day, so good to see that. VeChain up 11%. There's been a lot of excitement around VeChain, especially with NFTs. A lot of people have been on VeChain buying NFTs using VeThor as well. So if you have VeChain and VeThor, good for you. But great to see VeChain up almost at 14 cents. I love VeChain. I think it has so much promise. And then Avalanche down 15% on the week. So if you manage to scoop up some VeChain, good for you. Pancake Swap just hanging out. But other than that, we have a lot of good green in the market. There's a lot more green than red. And if we see the top movers right now, we can see that FTX token is up. VeChain right behind it. Number 2 for the up most on the daily. So super happy to see VeChain making some moves. IOTA doing really, really well. Thor, Ruin doing really good. So a lot of green today. So I'm really happy to see that. And let's take a look at the losers on the day. A couple of red, a little bit more red than I thought, but not too much. In terms of the red, we see Harmony down about 4%. This had a major run up the other day. It was almost at 14 cents. So makes sense. Solana makes sense. All the ones that had major run-ups in the last week are down just a little bit on the daily. Engine Coin doing pretty well, only down 1%, but 8% on the week. So good to see that there's a lot more green than red in this market. But other than that, again, we're at this critical point for Bitcoin to decide whether or not it wants to go to the moon or pull back. We'll see this play out in the next couple of days as it's continuing to just hover around this area. But I think that the bulls and the bears need to make a decision because both of them are just kind of at this point where we're waiting to see what the market dictates. If we pull back, I think that we're going to blast off from there. And if we don't pull back from there, I think we're just going to move onwards and upwards, break through 50,000. As we can see, we've had a couple of days now. We're almost approaching 2 weeks of consolidation, and then we could see some blast off. So either way, I'm ready. I have my buy orders ready. Be prepared for a dip if it comes, but if not, I hope you guys bought the dip at 46,000 because I've been mentioning that as a key level of support. We see a lot of touch points down here, but anything can happen. So be ready. And yeah, I'll see you guys on tomorrow's episode. We'll see how this plays out. If not, we're just going to continue to crab walk and chill out here and consolidate and let the altcoins just run. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.